kepada Bapak dan juga Ibu, bagi Anda yang membutuhkan link e-certificate sudah kami sediakan untuk mengisi terlebih dahulu, yaitu di form yang sudah kami bagikan di dalam kolom chat. Dan untuk mendapatkan e-certificate, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to fill the form that we already share by Zoom. Baiklah, Bapak dan juga Ibu, pada sore hari ini kita mendapatkan kesempatan yang sangat luar biasa sekali. Pastinya itu nantinya akan ada sesi diskusi bersama dengan speakers dan juga akan dipimpin langsung oleh moderator kami. This afternoon we will have the panel discussion present by our speakers with the presentation on the topic and also led by our moderator. Namun terlebih dahulu, izinkan kami untuk mengucapkan selamat datang dan juga sudah bergabung serta memperkenalkan satu persatu speakers kami yang hadir pada sore hari ini, yaitu sudah hadir Bapak Wikan Sakarinto, Dirjen Pendidikan Vokasi. Halo, selamat sore Bapak, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for joining with us this afternoon. And then our next speakers, we also have the beautiful event. There is Mr. Urs Keller, Diploma Max in ETH STL STV, President Europrof, European Associate of Higher Educated Professionals, and also Vice President CITECO, Association for Swiss International Technical Connection. Hello, good afternoon there. How are you, sir? Thank you for joining with us. It was a pleasure for us. Thank you. Dan berikutnya kami juga memiliki narasumber yang hadir, yaitu pada sore hari ini Bapak Dr. Engineering Agustinus Winarno, STM Engineering, yaitu beliau merupakan dosen Departemen Teknik Mesin Sekolah Vokasi UGM. Selamat sore Bapak.
Selamat sore Mbak Novita. Okay, everybody, good afternoon and good morning, Urs Keller.
Baik, dan berikutnya sudah hadir yaitu Bapak Yewahyo Nursanto, DPing FH, beliau merupakan Direktur Admi IGI Center. Selamat sore Bapak, selamat bergabung bersama dengan kami.
Selamat sore Mbak Novita, good morning Urs, selamat sore Pak Wikan, Ruderwin, dan teman-teman semua. Terima kasih.
Baiklah Bapak dan juga Ibu, nanti banyak sekali akan kita bahas dalam sesi panel discussion bersama dengan narasumber serta moderator kami yang sudah kami perkenalkan satu persatu. Namun terlebih dahulu pada diskusi pada sore hari ini nanti akan dipimpin oleh moderator kami yaitu Bapak Dr. Engineering Agustinus Winarno, STM Engineering. Namun terlebih dahulu izinkan kami untuk mengundang kembali Bapak dan juga Ibu untuk bersama-sama menyanyikan lagu kebangsaan Indonesia Raya. So ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the main event this afternoon, together let's start singing Indonesian anthem Indonesia Raya. Ladies and gentlemen, please sit up straight. Baik, sekali lagi kami ucapkan terima kasih banyak Bapak dan juga Ibu. So once again, thank you ladies and gentlemen. Baiklah, berikutnya sebelum nanti kita akan melanjutkan dalam sesi panel discussion, berikutnya terlebih dahulu mari kita dengarkan kata sambutan sekaligus arahan yang kali ini akan langsung disampaikan oleh Bapak Wikan Sakarinto selaku Dirjen Pendidikan Vokasi. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear the opening speech by Mr. Wikan Sakarinto. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Wikan Sakarinto.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Rahayu. Dear Honorable Professor Mulyaman Haddad, Ambassador of Republic Indonesia for Switzerland and Liechtenstein, Professor Urs Keller, Mr. Urs Keller, Vice President of Association for Swiss International Technical Connection, or SITECO, Mr. Wahyu Nursanto, my senior, the Director of ADMI IT Center, Mr. Agus Winarno, my dear colleague, he's a lecturer and future leader in Department of Mechanical Engineering, Vocational College of Gajah Mada University, and all directors of vocational higher educations, deans, representative industries, ladies and gentlemen. So very good afternoon and very warm welcome to all of you and all distinguished participants. First of all, I would like to thank for all of you for the kind concerns, so we can gather here to think and to hopefully come up with further ideas to develop our education, especially vocational education in Indonesia. Well, this chapter 1 for Studium General that focus on topic of strengthening international partnership of Indonesia vocational higher educations with the main speakers of our lectures today, Mr. Urs Keller from Switzerland, and also some other speakers. I expect that we'll have a fruitful discussion, then we can come up with the new or more innovative ideas to develop our educations. On behalf of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology, Republic of Indonesia, it's my great pleasure to welcome you here today for the Studium General, Chapter 1, Switzerland, Strengthening International Partnership for Indonesia, Focus on Higher Education. So before we get started, I would like to express as well my gratitude to Mr. Wahyu Nursanto and also Mr. Agus Winarno, and to all participants for being here today, who kindly help, who kindly support us to make this program come together, become a success. And I hope it's going to be a very wonderful event to proceed for the following leapfrog in the future. We believe that we'll have a productive mutual benefit during the seminar, especially to strengthen the partnership of Indonesian vocational higher education with industry, not only locally but also globally. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, nowadays, human resource development is the main focus of our government, Republic of Indonesia. And according to directions of our President, Bapak Joko Widodo, vocational education takes a very important positions and takes significant place to prepare high quality human resource talent for the society. He said, he keeps mentioning about the government should cooperate with other countries such as Switzerland, Germany, Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, Singapore, or the World Bank for the development of vocational education and training. So he mentioned this last 2 years ago. And also human resource of development such as vocational training and vocational internship abroad should be carried out on a large scale. Bringing in mentors, as professors or trainers from other countries on the large scales to mentor or to train or to improve both teachers and also students. Lecturers are not only local teachers, but also come from foreign teachers. So he notes, or he keep mentioning these definitions again and again in many times. So should be note that education institution today should not only focus on technical skills. So this idea or this thinking and this thought, I should emphasize again and again, and in many occasions, that we should not only focus on technical skills or hard skills, but we should also pay attention significantly to soft skills and characters. Our education should come up with the human resource with strong character, strong soft skills, and automatically hard skills will follow. This is the concept that we have to keep in mind. Hard skills and soft skills must be possessed in or by vocational graduate in a balanced way, including nationalist character, integrity, religious side, and some other aspects. So competence is made by character, soft skills, and hard skills. Not only hard skills or not only soft skills. Indonesia's future challenge is to prepare or to improve the ability of its human resource to respond to technology disruptions, globalizations, innovation 4.0, society 5.0, until to survive, we can go through the pandemic and we can survive from the pandemic. So it's necessary to prepare our students to be able to adapt the ability of rapid technological change, and all of this can be answered or can be ensured by strengthening soft skills in addition to hard skills. So we can say that international collaborations, I strongly believe it is a very important aspect that we have to keep in mind, and we have to realize. If we talk about the link and match, I keep mentioning about the link and match 8 plus I. So there are 8. It's like not mandatory, but it's a must. 8 aspects that we have to deal with if we want to claim, or if we want to declare that, okay, we are already linked and we are already matched with the industries. 8 aspects within this slide is a must. But if we talk about the I mean it's like unlimited other ideas, unlimited further ideas. If we start from the number 1, curriculum should be synchronized with the industries, and then project-based learning following in the number 2, and number 3, visiting teachers from industry should be more and more and more. I want to see more teachers, more experts from industry to also teach the students in SMK or in university or in polytechnics. Internship, minimum 1 semester, certificate of competence should be also integrated when we develop the synchronized curriculum. And number 6, teacher should be regularly trained by industry. And number 7, applied research should come up with the real product and to be delivered to the market or to the society. And number 8, commitment to absorb the graduates by industry. That is the 8 basic standard that we have to deal with if you want to realize the link and match. But I can be many things. For example, strengthening the collaboration with international partners, sending the students abroad. It can be very useful, or it can be very powerful to develop the soft skills of our students. So sending the student abroad 1 semester or 2, for example, it's one of the I that we develop in 8 plus I link and match. Because based on our experience, students who can manage to stay 1 or 2 semesters abroad, and then when they come back to our campus, I saw I could see a lot of difference when we talk about the communication skills, the confidency, their confidence, they are more confident, they are more mature, they can express better compared to when they depart to go abroad. So I believe there are many programs, there are many activities that we can develop for international collaborations. Students' mobility is one thing, and also visiting lectures or faculty exchange, student exchange, joint research, and etc. There are a lot of activities or programs that we can develop with our international or foreign partners. So in today's seminars, we would like to learn how to can further build strong partnership between vocational higher education and industries from the perspective in Switzerland, or in Europe in general, how to implement link and match between vocational higher education, polytechnic, university, and industries, how we can come up with a strategic plan, especially in regard with sustainability of local and global partnership. It should be start from building trust, integrity, commitment, consistently, which could give benefit not only for vocational education, but also the most important thing is the benefit for the industries. So as we all know that vocational education in Switzerland has become a culture, it's long tradition. So it's been quite long tradition. We would like to learn how to realize that tradition, that system, that ecosystem in Indonesia in a faster scale. So we want to have it, or we want to implement it, or we want to have it as well in Indonesia, but faster, but also should be as good as well as in Switzerland. So I hope through this seminar, I really hope that we can get some lessons that should be learned and adopted in Indonesia. For example, first can be vocational higher education should learn how to convince and get the trust from industries in a sustained scheme. We do now. We have been doing now. We have been getting that trust from industry. So in the last couple of years, I could say that we have the trust from industry to our education system. It's been growing actually. So vocational educations can come out with a lot of values for industries, and we can implement big potential to increase the competitive level of industries. So secondly, it can be also, for example, for instance, it's also expected that industry in Indonesia could broaden their trust to us. So it's been quite some trust, but we hope we can get bigger trust, and they are more confident that vocational educations, we do have big potential to deliver significant value for industries. So through this beneficiary relationship, I hope ecosystem of a strategic partnership would be built massively sooner into the future, and I hope it will come up with the positive impact for economic and social aspect in Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, the preparation of component of human resource, as I told you, is the best investment for Indonesia today and also the future. With the demographic bonus that we now have, education is the key word to our competing aspect in the global arena. Education system must be able to produce competent human resource with the competency. As we know, vocational educations, our president keep mentioning, keep telling us that vocational education is a very important part to realize that vision. Currently, we prepare graduates from vocational education institution after completing their educations, not only working, but also to be entrepreneurs, and also pursuing further study in the university from SMK or upper level. So we call it BMW, in Indonesia BMW. In Indonesia BMW, but in English BMW. B means bekerja, work. M means melanjutkan or continuing to pursue further study, and W or W in Indonesia means wirausaha or entrepreneurs. So the BMW concept is also very depending on how much we can shift our curriculum, we can modify or we can improve our learning system that should not only hard skills, but also soft skills and character building. It's, for example, working. We are not producing a hard worker, but we are producing smart worker, the future leader, but who can really be hands-on. That is the concept of BMW. So, dear participants, I do not want to take too much of your time, so let us take this opportunity as a big step to further strengthen and link and match vocational and industry. So thank you very much for your kind concern and your very significant contribution. So this international event is held to support the participants, particularly the higher education. So we hope vocational, not only higher education, but also SMK, vocational high schools can be bounded, can be connected, can be also linked and matched with industries. So I would like to wish you all a very successful program, and I do hope that we will be able to make this into a better world for the global community that support us to try to advance our education today. So we hope that we are successful in our work for further prosperity and well-being for our future. So thank you very much. Again, thank you very much. I hope a good day, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi, Santi, Santi. Thank you very much.
Baik, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih banyak Bapak Wikan Sakarinto yang tadi baru saja kita menyaksikan bersama-sama kata sambutan sekaligus arahan. So once again, thank you very much for the opening speech. Baiklah, Bapak dan juga Ibu, berikutnya mari kita menuju ke sesi diskusi yang kali ini akan dipimpin oleh moderator kami, yaitu Bapak Dr. Agustinus Winarno. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will start the main event discussion which will be led by the Honorable Mr. Dr. Agustinus Winarno. To Bapak Dr. Agustinus Winarno, time and place are welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Novita, for the introduction and also the time to passing for me. Okay, first of all, I would like to thanks to the Director General of Vocational Education, Bapak Wikan Sakarinto, PhD, and also I would say thank you to the Director of Direktorat of Partnership and Alignment of Vocational Education with Business and Industry, Mr. Saryadi. Also, the ambassador Indonesian ambassador in Switzerland, Prof. Mulia Maman. Okay, good morning in Switzerland. And also, I would like to welcome Urs Keller, because I think good morning, Urs Keller. I want to check your mic.
Yes, good morning. So from Switzerland, I hope everybody is very happy, and I'm very happy also to be together with you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And also I would like to welcome you, all of the dean, professor, lecturer, ladies and gentlemen. So first of all, let me introduce who is Urs Keller. Okay, his name is, as you can see here, his name is Urs Rolf Keller. Can I call you Urs? Okay, Urs?
Yes, please.
Okay, he started the education in the mechanical engineering in 1965, and he also graduated from the Swiss Federal Technical University, this very healthy prestigious top university in Europe, and he very active in the vocational development, even in not only in the Swiss but also around Europe, and some he's doing in also in Africa. And I think I read from the news that Urs already visited Indonesia for 7 times. Okay, that is the very brief, how to say, introduction about Urs. Maybe without waiting too long, I will pass the time to you, Urs. Okay, Urs, time is yours.
Thank you very much. And I just try now to go into the projects. I don't know if you can see my screen. Hello?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Yes, not yet.
Oh, then I have to check. How can I handle it? I have to check it, I think.
Okay, now.
So, can you see it?
Yes, now. Okay, wait a moment. Okay, great. Okay, please, Urs.
Now, I hope I can handle it. Oh, because it's somehow the other way. It's not opening, huh? Sorry. I don't know. Can you see it properly from your point?
Okay. Yes, you can push F5 to make it bigger.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it now okay?
Yes, perfect.
Fine. Thank you very much. So I would also very much to say hello, selamat siang, to also the director of Vikan Sakarinto. I'm very happy that he gave the keynotes, but also thank you very much, Pak Winarno, for the organizations of this. For me, it's a pleasure to be involved with your process, and I try to give, let's say, one or the other aspect from the points of the schools and industry, how we are doing in Switzerland. Before I start, I just want to inform you or to give you a message. If you want to be a good teacher, you have to be really a good engineer. That means it needs really, let's say, the languages of the industry, the experience in the industry. I will go more into details later on. But I think that is one of the keynotes I would like to do it. But I would also like very much to congratulate the whole audience, because you have registered, you are attending this seminar, and I think with that you have proven that you're very much interested in the dual vocational education. Let's do it together with your experience in Indonesian and with our, let's say, experience we have about many years ago started, and we should share it and bring it together to have more progress in both countries. So before I really go into the details, I want to prove also a little, it is essential, dual vocational education. We can be proud to be involved in such education. Hello? Hello? Is it okay?
Yes, go ahead, Urs.
Yes, because somebody was giving this voice. It is very essential that we see the interest of it. In Switzerland, we are asked from many countries to give some support, because I think it is really one of the more successful solution we ever had in our country. So you see also here the signing between Switzerland, United States. The lady Biden, she was 4 years ago in Switzerland attending the Congress. She was very much interested in our dual vocational education, and she has also seen the dual education we are doing is most needed most required on the labor market industry. As you see here on the middle, it is particularly the higher dual vocation education where the graduates never have to look really for jobs. They are very much asked to get similar salaries like the academic people, but they have much more, let's say, the projects very much involved in the industry. So before I go more in this part, I would also like to explain you a little our vocational education system. We have the elementary schools, also 9 years. Then we have the basic apprenticeship. We have the higher dual vocation education, and then goes up, can go everywhere after diploma, thesis, and so on. So there is one way never ending until to the top. For instance, I myself made something like this, and then, as mentioned, to the top university. So we have also, of course, University of Applied Science, and we have the real university, like mentioned, ATH, which is, I think, even #1 in Europe. So the industry needs all of them. They need, for instance, for research matters, the really high university, more academic people, than for conceptions, the University of Applied Science, but also the people from the higher dual vocation education. We call it high weight or high dual weight and so on. So they're particularly in the production line. They are the design. They make rapid prototypings. They make all, let's say, the programming, CNC and so on. And they make also, let's say, the after-sales service support, maintenance, and so on. And of course, we have also the basic people which are working in groups together, but the leaders in groups are mainly here on the higher vocational education. What I'm now going to discuss is not only valid for engineers process, it could also be used similar things we're doing in Switzerland for gastronomy, for farming, for medicine and arts and so on. So it is important to understand how the curriculum, how the regulations, the directives are made. It is the ministry, of course, responsible for the legal aspects, from the framework, for the formal release, and the cantons, which are locally on the different regions, they are responsible for the quality of implementation. They are the representatives, and they are looking also for financing support. But the, let's say, the board of schools, I have been member, I don't know, 15 years in the board of directors of the higher vocational education. So we have been directly asked by the government to make the regulations and frameworks, to give support on it, but also to make the curriculum and other things. And of course, together with the representative of the industries, I could mention here Cadin or Apindo or APII. I think that's very important that such organizations also fully in the whole process. Of course, I could now mention the pages and pages why dual weight is so successful. I think for the ministry, for the government, it has the highest fiscal return of investments, but also for the companies as such and so on. But I would like to stick on 3 major things. The dual vocational education, like we believe in Switzerland is successful, is a labor market-driven, practical-oriented and professional education system. So that means a lot. So the practice, again, the really, let's say, experience people are having, not only, let's say, engineers in company, but also the teachers must have this practice in the company, and particularly also the students before they graduate, they must work also real projects in companies. Second one, strong support by the companies, but please, directors of Polytechs, I know some are listening, it is up to the school that they are looking to get this support. So you have to take care of it and to make a really good relationship and so on. If you want to see more in details, I will a little explain, but of course, also after this session, we are ready. That means Mr. Vinano, Mr. Wayomi, to support you in that. And then thirdly, not at least, not really the titles, not only the titles is counting, but the function and the performance is in Switzerland even more, let's say, important for the performance companies. The companies are looking really which functions have to be served and how their people, the graduates, are going to perform. So the performance counts a lot in our, let's say, country. If I say Switzerland, we have similar in Germany or in Austria too. Maybe in Denmark and Holland, in Norway, but the other countries have not the same system at all. So I want to show you just some samples how the people are educated. You know, it is hands-on learning, on the job doing. For instance, I have been more than 10 years the director of one of the leading schools in Switzerland. So it was not too much theory. It was a bit basic in the theory, but then it was process-oriented knowledge transfer. That means people learned on a real subject. For instance, electromotor, just the engine. So we made all the theory out of it and according a special methodic. So they learned the physics, the, for instance, Kirchner law or electromagnetical fields and so on. So they have been much more motivated on it. You see also very high, of course, equipment, high technologies and so on. So this makes us a little proud that the students are already completely in the up-to-date techniques involved, but not only facilities, material, hardware is important, it is also the method, the soft skills and so on, like Mr. Vikan mentioned before. I'm very happy. They are not only hard skill, very important, in particular also the soft skills. We call it also little Swissness. That means accuracy, preciseness, reliability, cleanness, and so on. As you see, that's rather important. And not only in Switzerland, we have this also in Austria or in Germany. So we call it like a Dach, that means like a roof. We are working together. So I give also some additional samples. For instance, CAD/CAM is of course also very strong computer-aided design, but it needs additional things like stress analysis, like wind dynamic simulations, like hydraulic, pneumatic, or material. And I think it is a good engineer becomes really if he has this practice and can do some project later on together with the companies. So I want to show you some samples from this field: automation, electronic, information, logistic, mechanic. First sample I would like to give you, this is in the sections of energy engineering. It is a higher vocational education. As I mentioned, they have the basic vocational education and then the higher. So they're already, let's say, 5 years on study before they make such projects. For instance, completely water power station in the Alps. That's famous Matterhorn. So that means they work together with Alstom, Switzerland. They have to have the competence of project planning, development, energy, technology, systems, but also test laboratory and test field commissioning or services and so on. So they should have such competences. And what they have done, for instance, is to make conceptions, redesigning, or they improved, let's say, the effectiveness of such power station. And for instance, in one plant, it was a plant of Kuala Lumpur, and they have increased 11% of the efficiency. So that means it is a huge of money valuable. Usually there are always student groups between 2 and 4 students. They work thousands of, about 1,000 working hours. That would cost, for instance, in Switzerland, 100 euro for 1 hour. So that 100,000 euros. That would be somehow the investment, but the return of investment is already here less than 1 year if such power stations will be let's say, improved in such a way. I have a second sample. This is more for the tourist people. You know, up the Alps, there are very often very nice railways going up. And they had some problems, not enough tourists, so we had to look for some means how we can the whole trip more attractive. So they had, let's say, something like events in the Alps. So we have been asked to make a concept with such a tent. And even there's the older houses. There would be, if everything is successful, a new house to build. And we made the whole layout, the whole logistic, but also, you know, they had to transport the whole material from the sea, from the lake, up to the mountains, let's say 1,000-meter high. And how is the logistic on it? Huh? And then, of course, the calculations, investment of return and so on. And you will see it even has been realized later on. Up to now, we've still the older house, which is this one here, and the new house they might plan for the future. I have a last sample. This is a project for the Tram in Zurich, you know, the big city in Switzerland. We have many trams, dozens of this type, which is the Cobra. And very often the trams have wheels which worn out. So that means if it's somehow flexible worn out, so they have vibrations, and the vibrations gives a lot of disturbance and makes other distraction. So for that, I think it needs a device. It is with piezoelectrical elements in order to detect such vibration. And if it is too much, then of course they go in the garage in the evening, replace the wheel, and the next day they can do it again, running without any problems. So there have been these 4 students, and they are also very proud to represent this. There is a must that they go to represent this to the client. It was the Swiss in Zurich, the Public Transport Association. So that is very close together. Finally, I would give you also a project which we have done in Switzerland among several schools. That is the remote access in labs. So this is something for zero teaching concept with partner schools in Switzerland. That means the goal was every student has access anytime, everywhere with his own laboratory equipment. And if he has the theory, very basic theory in the classroom, he makes his own project. That's, for instance, together with Siemens Cinematic PLC, program language controlling. They have the hardware for moving. These are 4 bands going around, and they can do this in the classroom. But also they can go ahead with Tia Portal to improve the whole programming at home, and then go into the laboratory, which is remote access. We have this in Biel on a partner school, more than 30 such control units, Siemens. They're very expensive ones, but if they use 24 hours a day, then of course it will also reduce the cost, but it gives a lot of experience among the schools. Teachware can be exchanged, so teachers are very much interested, and of course I think also the students are very much motivated because they can really work anytime. If somebody has more problems, he can work on it longer than maybe the students which take it easy. So of course everything has a camera, has a microphone, so you can see real how it is working. You can listening and so on, like you would stay just beside. That is a strong recommendation we should also consider. I want to finish my, let's say, presentation speech, and I would like to summarize dual weight or higher dual vocational education must really become very business oriented. The practical work diploma and mandatory internship are usually carried out in close cooperation on behalf of the local and global companies and everyday work life. it is really important that the students learn the real situation, not only theory or only in isolated classroom. The student should be really ready at the very end of the education, that the day later, one day later, he can go to the company and be really a useful engineer. And then I'm sure the companies will benefit of it. The company will support the whole process, and you get also much more support from the companies in your schools. But also the teachers have several years of practical experience. I really have this experience. In my school, was only allowed to teach if he had at least 3 years, up to 5 years minimum experience in the field, in the company he's going to teach. So for instance, even I had also lawyers, 3, all of them had to be really a lawyer and then become a teacher to bring law into. A lawyer cannot say from the teaching and theory, that would not be accepted. So if you really want to be a good teacher, you have to be also a good engineer. And if you make a project like just mentioned, you learn all the school is going to learn, particularly the teacher. The teacher becomes from a teacher to a coach, and he's really good, like a trainer in a football team. He's going to coach the student team, and he learns himself always at the same time. And then, of course, if we do this together, I'm sure it can be 4 times win situation for the schools, the teachers, the companies, the trainees, the instructors, the students, graduates, and finally for the government and the society, because really it has very great impact. I hope also that we can find a solution. I'm very happy that also the Swiss ambassador might listen, and that we can include this in the comprehensive economy partner agreement, which I hope will be signed very fast, very soon this year. The Swiss people, the public has agreed, and the politician has to sign the agreement, and I hope we can do some cooperation with this CEPA. So I would like to thank you for your audience, and of course I'm very much open for your questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Urs, for the very comprehensive explanation. And there are so many. I several questions in the chat room. Maybe you can read. But okay, maybe I would like to make a little bit highlight about your talk. The first one, you're talking about the lecturer, that the lecturer must be engineer, or the good lecturer is the good engineer. Maybe, okay, the good lecturer is the good practitioner. Not everybody is an engineer, right? Maybe the practitioner. Do you agree with this quote?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So to be a real lecturer, or to be a real lecturer in the vocational field, that the lecturer must know exactly and in a professional way and working with this industry. Is it correct?
Yes, that is absolutely necessary, because that's the big difference between dual vocational education and the academic education. Academic education is really more science, more theory on it, but the dual vocational education means they're going to implement this in the practice, and how you can teach this if you yourself have not experience. So you have to really be supported by the companies. The government have to help you. I think also your association like Cutting, Apindo, and so on might support it. I'm sure they're also interested in such things.
Okay, then we will have a next discussion, maybe in the next session. So I would like to invite Mr. Wahyo, he is your partner here in Indonesia in developing the international, or in the international vocational development. So let me share about his profile first. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me share his profile. He's going to give a highlight about what's going on about the vocational development in Indonesia and Switzerland. Mr. Wahyo is teaching, he is the director of IGI. Maybe he will give a brief introduction later. And he started his education, higher education from ADMI Surakarta and Institute of Rapid Product Development in Switzerland in 1998 to 2001. And also until now, he is working for the ADMI IGI as a center of director. And here, I would like to introduce that he led several studies and visit to Switzerland during the 2014-2018, and he is also doing the feedback development partner with URSS from 2014 until right now. Okay, I would like to give time to Wahyo to give a kind of highlight what, especially from your perspective about the Indonesian perspective about how to develop vocational ecosystem in Indonesia, especially based on the what Urs already explained. Please, time is yours, Wahyo.
Okay, Derwin, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, Urs Keller. So, if Derwin already mentioned that Urs Keller already visited Indonesia 7 times, and 6 of them I was his driver, frankly. And if I'm in Switzerland, Urs Keller is my driver as well. Is it right, Urs?
Yes, that's right. And secretary as well.
Okay, so thanks a lot. So I would like to guide the participant to dig a little bit deeper on some points. Urs. First of all, if you mention about good teacher has to be a good engineer, do you really mean it, and why you emphasize on that conclusion, Urs? Please tell us.
Yes, of course, I'm sure it is a must. I can tell you also experience. I have employed also people, professors, doctors, and so on. Very good ones, very good in explanation and in presentation. But if we do such projects, like just before we have seen, these are real projects. The power is running. The software is also going. The trains are moving. Let's say the production line has to work and so on. We really see if somebody has this experience or not. And for higher dual vocation education, it's like in Switzerland, it is not enough if the teacher has not the real practice like I mentioned. It is really a must. But also if you want to get the support from the companies, the CEOs, the HR manager, they are very fast realizing if you have the competence that you can speak the same language or not. If that is not the case, then you might not get the support you're looking for.
Okay, how many years of real experience in the field you really need for your teacher or lecturer? As you were rector of the ABB Technical Schule for 10 years, how you manage it?
You see, in Switzerland, of course, I really ask 3 up to 4 or 5 years. But I see the situation also. I have been many times in Indonesia, and that might be a little too much. I think so. You have to look what is the best way, how you can do it. I strongly ask the directors of polytechnics in your country to have a close collaboration with the companies. 3 months of internship, that's not enough, because internship means also a little guide, and so they have to work really in the lines to take over responsibilities and so on, even to have contacts with the clients of the company, or you have the contacts and so on. So that needs time. I think they should something like having 1 year. So a solution could be if the teacher is teaching 50% in your school and do part-time, working in the company. So that means he's going to learn the same time than he's going to teach. And that will speed up the whole thing together. I would, let's say, suggest such a things, but of course you have to look the situation in your country. But why not looking, for instance, together with Nestle or Bühler or Stadler Rail or ABB or Siemens and so on? They might be also interested in such an approach because they know the value finally for a long time, let's say, future of the higher dual vocation education. So let's say 3 months, that's not enough, definitely. It has to be prolonged.
Okay, so at the best, you will like to have the teacher who has like 3 or even 5 years experience, yeah, of course.
Yes.
Okay, an interesting capture you also shown us that the United States also has been following the Swiss DVAT model, and probably it's triggered me somehow that if the United States really follow your system, why we are not following? So how could you encourage us that it is somehow implementable here in Indonesia if we really keen on catching up the gaps, for instance, how you will see and how you will suggest us, or if we will start similar procedure like the United States?
Yes, first things I would say also United States. It's a huge difference, and I do not think they have the level of the dual vocation education like we know it is in Switzerland.
Okay.
United States, the people are more employed by the company. They are a little, let's say, introduced. They learn in the company, but if they get, they have a system hire and fire. If they are fired, they have to look for a new job. They don't have the basic education in order to find easily another job and to be professional there. So we have to look in education that it is not too much depend on one company. We have good samples in United States from Switzerland, Bühler, Nestle, or insurances or UBS banks, so also the economic and so on. They have own education system built up according, let's say, the model of Switzerland. But it is very much company driven. And the government would like to spread it, but it's very difficult with the culture in United States. So for Indonesia, I have much more believing in it because people are very keen to work on it. I have seen so many good, let's say, teachers and schools. They were very open for improving. And if we work together, I think it is much more effectful if we concentrate on your country. I also would say many are already motivated, but it needs really a motivation. Please, everybody who's working in the dual vocational education, be proud. It is really one of the best education system you can have, and definitely is most successful. If you want to see more in the details, there are literature, there are, let's say, books written on it, why such dual vocational education is so successful. And in Switzerland, we have hardly any unemployed people because designer, I could look for hundreds of designers. We have not enough educated designer, but we have many graduates from the university, make an MBA and then are looking for jobs. So we have much more unemployed MBA graduates.
Okay, it's an interesting, be proud if you are a teacher, especially in the vocational path, yeah. Or so now I will a little bit jump into the industrial engagement. I've been learning that in Switzerland, the contribution of the industry is very huge, right? And it is considered to be one of the success factors, how the DVAT model is really good in Switzerland. Learning from Switzerland case, you should have the association, a strong association, taking care of this relationship between industry and also polytechnic like us, for instance. How would you suggest in our case, because some models like Cardin or even initiated APII, the Association for Polytechnic and Industry and so on, how you will directly address on this issue, or please?
Yes, of course. I don't want to go too much into details, but I had also very good discussions in the past with Pak Supit from Kadin, and I know Kadin is very much interested, and that would be a very strong organizations to bring together, let's say, the industry with the need of education. That means together with the polytech schools, and I'm sure also APII, Associations of Polytech Industry Indonesia, they can also give their support with, let's say, best practice possibilities. I would also like to mention one of the good schools I have seen is like, of course, ATMI, Solo, Cikarang, but also Polman Bandung, Polman Astra, and so on. So I would be very happy if that could be done together with that system. And of course, I would also like that it is supported by some organizations in Switzerland, Germany, or Austria.
Okay, thanks a lot. So you will strongly suggest that we strengthen this collaboration with the industry in whatever form it is, right? Like Kadin, because we know Pak Anton Supit is very keen on helping us, probably from Kadin, Pak Francis Wanandi or other supporter from Kadin. I would like also to ask furthermore about the relationship between us, polytechnic and industry. You strongly recommend support from companies is necessary or is important, but is important for me. The school have to take care of it. Probably tendentially we will wait for the support of or from industry. And I know that you have an exact experience how you did it differently when you lead the school in Baden, that you somehow come very proudly to the industry and then inviting project from the industry, and then at the end of the day the industry somehow finance the school freely and the school is owned by the companies. How could you share your best practices on leading this school, or especially connected with the relationship between us, school and industry? Please, Urs.
Yes, that's a very, very good question. And I think you brought up to the point. Of course, I had the advantage. I already had more than 20 years experience in the industry, and I know how the industry is talking and what they need. I had always this in the background. But I think also your school, your country could also improve it if they really look what is needed, not making a theoretical curriculum, make the curriculums together with the industries. Because if the industries realize that the final qualifications of the graduates meets the requirements of them, they will support it. And it is like investment for the future. I know your country have not enough really high qualified professional people. We really have to look for it. So there is no, let's say, you have to be proud and to be motivated to do it. But the industry have also to follow. So you have to look for the contact. Don't wait until the industry is coming. They're not coming from themselves. You have to bring together. I have discussed this 2 years ago with cinemas, and also there we realized that the need of cinemas, you know, they have huge mining and maintenance of trucks and so on, that really the requirements will be covered for the let's say definitions of the curriculum. And of course ask them also to get good instruction which make part-time teaching. Let's say 70% working in the company still, but have 30% of teachers going to teach in your school, then you get again a relationship. And later you make also project, like I mentioned it. In the final examination, you ask for an expert who will also attend in the final qualification process together with the graduates. So that means they learn, the graduates, and one or the other even get a job. So the bridge is much easy to be done between the students and companies, but also particular schools, teachers and companies.
Okay, thank you very much, Urs. I'm still curious on this point.
Okay,
my two last question, Brother Win.
Okay.
I think the point is following. One of the main point is the trust issue. So if we start building the relationship with the industry, the biggest issue is the trust. How will you overcome this? And did it bring also to the soft skill and characters upgrade, like Mr. Wikan already mentioned before? Did it bring something by means dealing with the companies? You will also upgrade in soft skills and character with your teacher and your student?
Yes, of sure. And it's absolutely necessary, as Mr. Wickham mentioned before, these soft skills. You might also know I have been also a member in Europrof working on the European qualification frameworks. There is not only the hardware, the soft skills are also the competences, learning competences, self-competences is very important. And in Switzerland, we say always, if you work in a company, then he learns also Swissness. This is really soft skills. That means he has to be on time, or else 1 minute later is too late. He has to work clean on it. Proper, and the quality. We discuss in nanotechnics, not only millimeter, centimeter. I think you have good samples. That means all I have seen. What does it mean? Also the soft skills and trustness, to be social competent and so on. They have also to take over social responsibility. 50% of all the problems later the companies are having with employees are soft skills problems and not hard skills.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Now is the last question there. Because,
I'm sorry.
The tema
is it possible?
Yeah, only one last question. So with all of the requirement fulfilled, as you explained before, now it became to your offer, because the title of this discussion is strengthening the cooperation or the partnership between us and most probably Switzerland. You already offered CTLA case, remote labor, and so on, and also the opportunity through SEPA. How you will give us some clues if we really dare to cooperate internationally later on with Switzerland? In this case, how will be the procedure, or how will be the steps? This is my last question, Brother Win. Please, Urs, answer my last wishes.
It should be the real one, right?
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I know, because you have
everybody
you have the
asking
real
for
project.
you. What are you going to do after this, maybe?
Okay.
Yes, of course, that's a very difficult question. I think it needs a participation of everybody who is interested. That means interested are also our government, I'm sure, but also some institution. I'm sure also we get support from the Ambassador Indonesia in Bern, Dr. Muriam Haddad. I'm very hopeful that we can somehow bring this into the new agreement together. But it needs also strong participation from the schools and cutting your associations, Apindo and so on. Particular, we have to look that also the Swiss institution are not using too much time, because they're very much engaged. You know, the time is very, very limited. So the more they can also profit each other. You know, it should be the benefit both sides equal. higher, let's say, are prepared the schools, the easier it is later to work schools together, Indonesian schools with Swiss schools. But of course, I can help the bridge. And that's not an ending answering. It is only, let's say, some ideas how we could start. But we have to go on this discussion.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer. Okay, I'm sorry, Wahyo, but
Thank you,
I have to cut
brother.
your time. Okay, thank you very much for the discussion, the first discussion. So after this discussion, I will play the game with you, ladies and gentlemen. So please be prepared with your smartphone. Okay, so I would like to share my screen now. Okay, so can you see my screen? Yes. Okay. So please open the website using your smartphone. Please open KHOOIT and put the PIN number 5057344, and then please put your name as a nickname dash your institution. Okay, I'm waiting for your participation. There will be a prize from the Mitrasdudi. It's so the Mitrasdudi member will send you the prize. Okay, so I'm waiting. So please join this game. Okay, these 3, 4. Okay, I'm waiting still. Okay, please open using your smartphone with KAHOOT.IT and then put the name 5057344. Okay, there will be a 3 winner here who will get a prize from the Mitrasdudi, and then after this game, there will be they will contact you. So please, please again put your name and then dash your institution. Okay.
You have to really mention the price is real.
This real, yes, exactly. Yeah. This is a real price. So 15 participants here now. So let me wait until 25 past 3. Okay. Okay, good. There are from Polynema, Pasto, I don't know, the buyers and for PNM. Okay, thank you. There are 22 participants here. Okay. Okay. Okay, I will extend to maybe 30 minutes past 3, or maybe after reach 30 participants. Okay, I will start the game. Okay, Andre, Apisolo, and Agustanto from PN. Okay. Please join us. Okay. Okay, I'm waiting still. Okay, can I start the game? Okay, again, okay, still. Okay, I'm still waiting for there are so many pretty times here. So, okay, there are 102 participants and also 31 panelists here. So there should be more than 50, I think, for participants who are going to join this game. Okay. It is very, very simple question, and then you will get the prize, and the best 3 will get the prize from the Mitrasdudi. Okay, please let me start in the next 1 minute. So I will count down. Okay, 50. Okay, 40, 30. 20, 10, okay, still there are pretty time here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so within 34 participants, I will start with the game. The first question is, it is very easy. Be fast and push the button in your mobile phone. Okay. Okay. Okay, please be fast as possible because time and the correct answer will bring you to the podium. Okay. Okay, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, I think only one person is missing now. Urs is from Switzerland, and he is not from Germany, either from Europe. Okay, from Australia, I mean. Okay, so let me go to the second question. Okay, before that, let's see the scoreboard. The sticky. I'm sorry. Please write your name to the chat room, Diki, Yasinta, and Putra, and etc. Because there is no information about their institution. Okay. Let me go to the second game and the second question. Which one is the most appropriate word from the dual system, which was explained by Urs? Okay, this is Indonesia. Okay. Okay, the answer is from Urs. Okay, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, exactly. So the dual system is a kind of combination between formal education in the academic institution and also the internship or working in the company. This is the concept of the dual system in Switzerland or maybe globally. Okay, maybe this is a kind of new, how to say, new insight if you are new about the dual system. But I hope you'll catch this clue. Okay, let me go to the next question. Okay, in your opinion, what is the most important to make your institution is to be great institution, vocational institution? The assessor, lecturer, the equipment, or the working place or the internship place? So there is no wrong or good answer here, but we are going to build. Okay, so in your opinion, the place for internship is the most important here, and also the lecturer itself is the key point to become the good or the great vocational institution. Okay, thank you. I will make a summarize in the end of this game, but let me go to the next question. Okay, this is also the pooling equation. As fast as possible, and then you will get, will bring you to the podium. Okay. How do you get, what is the most important aspect that you get a trust or support from industry? Actually, you answer your question in the chat room, but in your opinion, what is the most important thing to have a long-term relationship with the industry? Okay, thank you very much. So this is our, how to say, our conclusion that the curriculum must be give an advantage to the industry. Maybe Urs, you can note based on our pool here that the curriculum must be give advantage to the industry. This okay, and the second one is the how the financial is very important, and also the management system is also important in the vocational, how to make it get relationship, long-term relationship with the industry. Okay, so let me show who win the first game here. Okay, this is the podium. Okay, this third one is the Mr. Muller, and the second one is for Nyayu, and the first winner is Arif A. Okay, for these three people, please contact to the administrator, and they will contact you to give you the prize. Okay, thank you very much for the participation. And then please let me go to the next agenda, which is the discussion with the open discussion with the audience. Okay, so based on the explanation, also based on the discussion with Wahyo and Urs, I would like to invite maybe from the audience, if you have any question, please raise your hand. Maybe the first time I will like to give opportunity to the industry first. Okay, maybe from the participant, do you have any question? Please raise your hand. Maybe Urs already, how to say, mentioned about the Kadin. Maybe is there any representative from Kadin? Hello? Okay, maybe, oh, this is Pak Hadi. Pak Hadi, can you join with the discussion?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, welcome, Pak Hadi. Urs already mentioned about the, how to say, the Kadin is very important for the vocational development. Maybe if you would like to share the major issue right now, or even you would like to ask something or have discussion with Urs, please, I'll give time to you and Urs, please.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm Hadi from West Java Chamber of Commerce, Industrial Trade and Chamber of Commerce in West Java. Yeah, we'd like to share with you all about the internship. Yeah, in Indonesia, the Kadin is working hard to support the internship for vocational education in terms of to give the place for training and training for the trainers in industry. But we got also problem that not many industry would like to join to give this support for vocational education internship. I would like to know how about in your country in Switzerland, how you could encourage the industry involved fully in internship, because in here we are talking about supercut deduction tax, but in reality still far from the practicality. And what the benefit we also share to all industry, that if we accept this internship, we could select a good worker, good selected competent worker, and also much better, much better for the company in terms of having skillful employees. So what the scheme you've got in Switzerland to encourage the industry in Kadin, Switzerland, in order to support this vocational education, to support financially, or also the export and internship and the system that has been working there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Hadi. Please give maybe your answer, please, Urs.
Yes, thank you very much, Pak Hadi. That's really one of the key questions. How we can do such things, because let's say, if the teacher has to become more an engineer, he has to get also the support from the company with internships and so on. Also in Switzerland, it is not so easy to find good internship places. You might know I'm very much involved with Siemens or ABB, Alstom. According to this excellent relationship, it was easier. I think that's absolutely necessary. But on the other hand, we have to look that it is really in the benefit of the industry, of the company. For instance, if let's say the teacher for internship is already a little higher qualified in the practice, he has laboratory, really practical done in laboratory, he has more competence, practical competence, he will be easier accepted. If you look that it is not only 3 months, if it is longer, that he really is involved in practical way, in practical work, and also so the company can benefit. And not only he make cheap labor work, or just to make, let's say, like a study in the company, because that costs a lot of money for the companies. They need a lot of time. They need qualified engineers observe this only for this internship, that is, I think, very hard. But if he's going to work and support, for instance, if he has maintenance engineer, so he goes to Nestle and helps also in the maintenance of it, and he sees where is the leakage, how the leakage will be repaired, how we can make preventive maintenance and so on. I think then it is easier. So it is a must that the company see their own benefit. And of course, the curriculum, as mentioned, if that is adjusted according to the need of the company, but also, let's say, project. I mentioned my project, honestly said, it is really very valuable for the company. 100,000 euro was the benefit we had always the target and placed on it. 100,000 euro, that's not nothing, huh? For one project in four, let's say, team with 4 students just before the graduation. I think such things, also if the company sees, you mentioned already, Parkadi, if he sees the students, he sees already nearly graduated students, then he knows exactly which students he would like to employ. Also, the employment process is much easier, and also the failure of misemployment is much lower, and so on. I think we should somehow sit together and put down the criteria of the benefit for the industries, and if they see it, I think they're much more interested.
Okay, thank you, Urs. Maybe, Pak Hadi, do you have an, how to say, additional question or maybe additional discussion about this matter? Because, you know, in Indonesia, internship is a kind of, how to say, just student go to the industry without sometimes just make a coffee and etc. I think that's good. So based on your explanation that industry and also the educational institution must be sit together and set the goal, and then take what is the advantage of to the industry, and what is the advantage, describe what is the advantage of the educational institution. So maybe that is, I just want to make a highlight of that. Maybe do you want to have a further or deep question about this one, Pak Hadi?
Yeah. Yeah, apologize, we got a lot of noise here. The second question is about how you could synchronize the curricula in the vocational school, because in here we got also problem the level, the level of competency that we need in school, in the college, and we are facing a curriculum competency. And how about in Switzerland? Because I think in your country or Germany and Austria, you got maybe symptom of dual system that is almost focused and in the industry, but here seems to be still a bit far. Yeah, the progress in industry and the progress in academia still we have a quite big gap. So how your suggestion or the best practice that you've got in Switzerland that this harmonization is good. Thank you.
I don't know if I have understood everything, because the quality was a little here hard to understand, but I try my best. You know, your country has not nothing. You already have a lot. You have also a huge potential how to improve and to make the whole thing better. Your potential is much higher than in Germany, Switzerland, or Austria. But of course, if we work together and we have, let's say, trustness of long-run collaboration between these countries, I think that the motivation is easier. But the curriculum, you mentioned the curriculum, the levels of the curriculum, you're fully right. That is absolutely necessary. Don't make just high level, which is international, not the same level. So that's why ADMI knows I'm always, let's say, concentrating on the European qualification frame. There are 8 levels let's say, defined. And you have to follow international standards in order to make, let's say, a good comparison between from your country to the other countries, but also within your country, national-wide, if you follow this qualification definition of the levels. And that, of course, finally has to be the same than the labor market is looking for, like the job description and so on, has to be covered fully.
Okay.
So not making.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Urs. So it means like maybe in other words, like we have to make a kind of real project, and then we put the curriculum inside. It is give beneficial to the industry and also give the human development to the educational, I think, academia. Am I correct? I just want to make a highlight from this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you, Pak Adi. Maybe thank you for the question, and I think we will put a note, and maybe we will ask. Let's go. We can work together, maybe industry and also higher education. Maybe we can have, or we can make a new project and real project, maybe collaboration with the industry. Okay. Okay, thank you very much for Pak Adi from Kadin or Chamber of Commerce. Okay, the second, I will give opportunity to the educational practitioner here. Please raise your hand. Okay, there is one question from Pak Otto Purnawarman. Okay, Pak Otto, please open your mic and give a question directly to Urs.
Thank you, Mas Agus. Hi, Urs. I hear about you, but now I can see you in Zoom platform. Okay. I have two questions. First is how the lecturers or teachers in vocational education could be a good engineer? Should they have experiences in industrial or real projects? This is first question.
Okay.
Yes. I think it's very important that he is a really good engineer. And that is not just, you cannot switch on, and then he's a good engineer. No, he has to, it's like if you start swimming, you cannot learn swimming just in a classroom. That's not possible. Also in a laboratory, that's not possible. You have to jump into the water, and then either you swim or you don't swim. Mostly in Switzerland, everybody learns to swim. Nobody is going to die. So that, but the first step is most difficult, you know. Is rather, let's say, critical, but also even if astronauts going to the moon, the first step was most critical, but the final step when you put on the moon, that was very easy. One step, but a big step for the world. And that's the same here in teacher. If they really go and make such projects, I started really project, not only within the schools. Start with simple projects, and the student, particularly the teachers, are going to learn. They're getting support. They even get some, let's say, financing support, material support, but particularly they have open doors in the company. They have own expertise, and you ask them also to be involved in this project. So the teachers are going to work together with the experts in the company, and so doing step by step.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Maybe I will ask to the Pak Otto and Pak Wahyo. Urs already gives the answer that the most important thing, like teacher should go or jump to the industry. That is the key point, I think. So maybe Pak Otto, how many lecturers in your institution doing the project with the industry, not just the kind of research project, but the real one, like making something. Maybe I will ask Pak Otto first. How many projects during 1 year that you or your team, or maybe another lecturer doing in your institution, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. We have many projects in industries, but it's from a little project till the big project like that. So many lecture in Polman. They have yeah, I have yeah, many lectures in Polman. Have job to finish the project like that from industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, maybe for your information that Pak Otto in his institution, he already has maybe the industrial level project, but maybe some has difficulties to finish the project. Am I correct, Pak Otto?
Yes, Mas Agus.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe I will give maybe from Wahyo. Do you have any experience about kind of how many projects done by your maybe lecturer in your institution, maybe?
Yes, thank you, Derwin, for the question. So for sure, in our situation in APMI, we are really forced to deal every day with the project, because otherwise somehow we will die, because we are private institution, etc. But in the fact, the level of the project is different. In some areas, the project is a very real from the industry, inclusive the time pressure, the complexity of the project, dealing with the project management, etc. And it is very beneficial for us. And in some cases, like laboratory skills, we also running the project, but it's not like time pressure, for instance, like that. And I would say that the biggest challenge, if I compare what was explaining and our situation, is like the biggest challenge is our lecture is also have to deal with more and probably more formal assignment, like writing or the other assignment, which is frankly is probably not too suitable for our situation. And especially when Urs mentioning we have to become a good engineer first to become a good lecturer. Actually, we have to count in polytechnic comparison, we have to count more how many projects you are dealing with every years, instead of like, I don't know what is the other formal requirements from the government. So sorry, but we can probably you also dealing with it with the team, because I remember previously it was even harder, but I think the gap is still there, that our instructor has to be integrated more and more in the real industry, because time pressure really gives advantage. We learn especially moreover, if we can say that the soft skill and character is more important, then I think our instructor has to deal with more and more real project instead of writing or classroom teaching, etc.
Okay,
this is
you,
my probably my personal opinion.
Thank you. Okay, maybe will you go to the second question, Pak Otto?
Yeah, okay.
Do you have any question?
Okay, our experience in Polman Bandung, we have difficulties to directly collaborate with higher education in institution in Swiss. It is possible if CITECO make initiative to point directly one vocational higher education in Indonesia as a representative, yeah, to communicate with many higher education institution vocational in Switzerland.
Okay, thank you, Pak Otto. Maybe I just want to give additional information, Urs, that in the chat room, there are so many requests from, for example, from the Bu Hilda from Poltek Malang. She said like, how can we make a collaboration, or how can we make a collaboration with this, the higher institution in Switzerland? So this question is not only from Pak Otto, but can we make a real project in the near future? And maybe we have to, how to say, to collaborate with the Mitrasdudi and also the ministry, and also maybe the ambassador in Switzerland also. Maybe maybe can you have maybe the first step that we are going to do, or you are going to do, to make a bridge between the higher education in Indonesia and Swiss? Maybe what kind of strategy that you are going, maybe you can help us to building this bridge.
Yes, that's also very delicate questions, and you know, I'm not let's say, I cannot make decisions finally for Swiss government and or for, let's say, my colleagues. These are directors of schools and or associations or Siteco and so on. But I think we know, of course, ATMI or Pullman Bandung, they're very much built up and supported also by Switzerland in the past. But I think my dream is, let's make my personal dream and hope that it goes somehow farther, this good contribution, good relationship between the two countries. That's why I wanted with this comprehensive economic agreement, which should be signed very soon. And I can also discuss this with your ambassador in Indonesia, Mr. Molimar Haddad in Bern, how we can approach. What is most important, that it comes from you also. Let's say I can help. I can help you to make the bridge. But let's say if you can summarize after this seminar what is most needed, that most of you can benefit. I know there are many, let's say, schools in Jember, in Morawari, in also Pullman and so on, would like to have this good relationship, but I cannot, let's say, solve all of them. We have somehow to organize it, to give a structure in your place and look how we can do it in a most benefit way. I can also ask my colleagues in Germany and Austria if they are interested to make such collaborations. But the first thing is you have to sit down what is most effectful and in which field you want to discuss. Is it in technique? Is it in gastronomy, tourism, or medicine? And also which kind of projects you are thinking. It is more a platform, it is remote labs. That's why I mentioned the sample with the remote labs that could be easily, for instance, applied for it, and because I'm also the president of the owners of these remote labs, so I can with the PLC program language computerizing and with the support of Siemens, we might also do a project together. But we should also involve you again, your ministry together with your ambassador, and then I can also contact our government, SECO, Siteco, and so on. This I definitely can promise to help you.
Okay, thank you. Also, maybe for the strategic, we have to sit down, and maybe I would like to maybe summarize this, how to say, this important thing, like from your side, you will have the emphasis to the Swiss government and also the industry and also the vocational education, and that let's make collaboration with the Indonesian side. And maybe from Indonesian side, maybe, I don't know, maybe Mitrasdudi or under the ministry will propose something, some project or a kind of project to make a collaboration, not only one within one university, maybe a collaboration between the industry and how to say, industry and then educational institution to the Swiss education institution and also the industry. Maybe, but we need to talk, and we need to sit down and then to declare what kind of advantage and what kind of project that we are going to do. I think that is we can make it a kind of a proposal. What do you think, Urs?
Yes, that's very good. Think about how every participant can benefit, because if some institutions, schools or government are involved and they don't see any benefit, they are not so motivated. So everybody should. For instance, I'm just thinking a little, why not making a project together with Inca, railways, okay, production? Yes. This with the Swiss company Stadler Rail, because they're very famous, very good. Your Minister of Industry, Mr. Hartat, has visited it. He has been very much impressed how they are doing, and they're also doing a lot for the dual vocational education support. And locally should be supported by ATMI as well as by Pullman Bandung, because I think they can also really support the education for train production side, how to produce trains, how to design, how to make the maintenance, or how to make some services and so on. I think that's a huge project, and I think the railway in your country has a huge potential, and I think there could be a long-running project.
Thank you.
So
Maybe
if that is, if you're interested, then of course I can make the bridge to Stadler Rail or to our Swiss government and so on.
Okay, maybe we can see from the another several point of view. For example, from the agriculture point of view, maybe from the tourism point of view, also from the engineer point of view. So we can make a project not only in the engineering field, but also in several point of view. I think that is my proposal. But again, we have to talk again. Okay, thank you, Urs, Wahyo, for your time today, and also thanks for all of the participants here. So please give me, let me summarize this discussion. The first one, I will just want to quote what Urs already talked. The first one, how to strengthen the international partnership of Indonesian vocational and higher education. The first one is we have to make it the same level. And the first, this is the good engineer should be the good teacher, or maybe the good practitioner should be can be a good teacher. So we have to jump to the water to know the deep. So this is the very deep message from Urs. And also I'm interested that it should not be too academic because it's vocational institution. But also in Switzerland, also not too academic, but again, we know in Indonesia is very, how to say, the law is there, so we have to take care about this one also. But that is the summary that I can give to you, all of the audience today. Okay, thank you very much for your time. I apologize if I have any mistaken or unwritten question. Have a nice day, evening, and also a nice day in Switzerland, and I will give back time to the MC. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you also very much, Pak Vinano, and I'm very happy to have together with you, and I hope that our discussion and working together will be going on. So thank you very much to everybody, and everybody is welcome to come to Switzerland.
Okay, thank you. Okay, MC, Mbak Novita, I give time to you.
Ucapkan terima kasih banyak kepada Bapak Dr. Agustinus Winarno yang tadi sudah memimpin untuk di sesi diskusi pada sore hari ini, yang tentu saja tadi banyak sekali manfaat yang dapat kita ambil, di mana para speaker memberikan banyak sekali informasi dan juga membahas mengenai presentasi yang telah disampaikan. Bahkan tadi kalau saya melihat banyak sekali ya partisipan yang juga aktif bertanya langsung kepada para speaker kami pada sore hari ini. So once again, thank you very much to Mr. Dr. Agustinus Winarno and of course all the guest speakers for the information and knowledge which has been given us this afternoon. Dan juga semoga ini sekali lagi bermanfaat untuk kita semua. May it be useful for us. Dan maka berakhir sudah rangkaian acara pada sore hari ini, Bapak dan juga Ibu. Finally, we come to the end, and once again, thank you very much for all the participants. Thank you very much for our guest speakers and also moderator, and what we had conducted will be useful for us. Dan juga sekian dari kami, sampai jumpa kembali di rangkaian acara berikutnya. Thank you and see you at the next event and have a good day. Stay healthy.
Terima kasih.
Oke.